is Gianni Storm. You got a story about a dude on trial for killing his family. What's
Yes.
happening? What's happening with that?
Yeah, so definitely a turn in topics, but a Florida man was actually on a trial for double homicide, I believe. For he was accused of killing his girlfriend and their disabled daughter. And he also was accused of attacking his 11-year-old son, 8-year-old son at the time. So this opening statement from him has actually gone viral on the internet because a lot of people are poking fun at the fact that, well, one, you are defending yourself in a murder trial, very risky, and then two, just how he presents himself. So we're gonna watch the video or a piece of it, and then I'm gonna get you guys. I have a question for the panel afterwards.
The evidence is going to show that we are under some of the most vicious, lying, fabricating, fictitious government you ever seen. By the time it's all said and done, you will see who is the mass murderer in Tampa Bay, the state of Florida. You will know why what occurred on March 18, 2018 occurred. And the evidence is going to show that law enforcement tampered with evidence to meet their such high burden of proof. Because originally it wasn't enough. So we had to tamper with evidence since it was such evident already, but we still had to tamper with evidence.
Go ahead, Gianni.
Yes, so that was part of his very long opening statement. Like I said, it went viral. And I want to know, is he innocent? Do you guys think, do you believe his argument if you watch the video? And do you believe that he should have went on trial without an attorney or any defense besides himself?
Oh, I can jump in on that. There's no way in the world he's not innocent. I mean, he's innocent. There's no way in the world he's innocent. Um, I mean, it's possible they tampered with evidence or got the investigation wrong. All that is possible, because they wanted to nail him. But I mean, his son testified. Although
Yeah.
what'd you say?
No, I think that that was the determining factor, that his
Yeah.
son was able to sit there and testify
So do
and
you think
say,
that some
Although I do
been
want to point out, a deputy did adopt his son. So a police officer adopted his son. So I
that's
mean,
weird.
it could be, it's easy for them to put in their minds, the child's mind, some. I'm just saying it's possible. There's reasonable doubt,
I don't,
but not reasonable enough for me.
yeah, I don't think in this case that that's what happened. The deputy adopted his son because the son's mama and sister were brutally murdered.
Yeah.
And the son said, "Mom did this to me." Like the little boy was saying what happened to him well before the adoption process began.
hmm
Um, so I think that has nothing to do with it.
I mean, I agree.
But,
I'm just saying.
but what was your question, Gianni? I'm sorry. What was your question?
The question was, is he innocent
If you
and should
believe.
he have went on trial without an attorney? Sorry.
I mean, that's one of the rights you have as an American citizen. You have the right to defend yourself. And so,
Yeah.
do I think it's law? It's a part of the Constitution. Do I think that he should have done it? No. But it was his right to do so. I think a lot of people also took exception to the fact that his son was um, asked to testify, was forced to testify. And again, a part of our legal system requires that the defendant has a right to see their accuser. They have a right to stand there and look at and hear what their accuser has to say to them.
Mhm.
Now, in the case of this young man, he wasn't in this little boy, his son, he wasn't in the courtroom. He was in another location. He was on closed circuit television. He had what do you call it? Help me out here. A service animal with him
Mm.
in Casey, and
I didn't even
needed,
realize that. Didn't pay attention.
yeah, he had the service sitting there with him, and he had like his counsel with him. He had his psychologist with him. But this case is from this, and it's awful as it sounds, and I know it sounds awful. However, this is the legal system. Every defendant has the right to have their accuser, to see their accuser. And what we don't know is this little boy could have been like, I want to testify. Everyone's talking about how he could be traumatized or whatever. This could have been cathartic for him. He could have
I just
said,
want to,
I want to tell my story.
there's a slight
And
difference between facing your accuser and questioning your accuser.
but the law allows for
Yeah,
that.
it
Like
does.
that's what the law like
Especially
if
an
if
11-year-old child. I mean, there has to be exceptions for children. I'm
but
sorry.
why? But why? Because
Because
you
it's
don't know.
children. They're
Because
more
just
important than justice sometimes.
because you alluded to the fact that the person who adopted this child could have influenced his testimony, someone else could have influenced his testimony, and he could be lying. We don't know
Yeah.
that. That's why we
Yeah.
need to hear his testimony under oath. And again,
Yeah.
we don't know what this child said to his lawyer, to his counselor, to the court. I want to testify. I want to tell my story. Listen, back in the 80s, I was a child who had to testify about something that happened to me. I was 12 years old and I wanted to tell my story and
All right.
put that motherfucker in jail.
All right.
And so,
Yeah.
Let me get Rob in here. We only have a minute left.
Fair. So there's an old saying, and I abide by it: a man who is his own lawyer has a fool for a client. So no, he should not have tried
Fool
to
for
step into those shoes. Absolutely not. And from what I've read while researching the story, the details certainly seem to point towards Ronnie Oneal III being guilty. But that will be for the court and a jury of his peers to determine. Um, I'm not part of those proceedings, and there is a due process that needs to be followed. It was a violent homicide, and the son's testimony was absolutely heartbreaking to listen to, and it was just so weird. How you doing, son? Hey, son, how you doing? It was just kind of
So
there's something that
awkward.
was surreal and weird about it, right?
It was.
He was
Yeah.
certainly on point and very knowledgeable of the facts of the events and the trial that was underway. But the emotional
Yeah.
level that was there was either that of a desperate man who is innocent and pleading his innocence, or is it the emotional level of a sociopath, psychopath who's over emoting to try to convince a jury? So it'll be interesting to see how this develops.
All right, Johnny. Any final quick thoughts?
Just Rob, that was a really good breakdown because it can. I was thinking about it. I have a very I try to be as reasonable as possible and see all sides of things. So from his point, in my mind, I'm like, if I was to defend myself on a murder trial, I'm innocent 100% because there's no reason I would even test those waters. Like I have to be proven innocent. So like you said, Rob, it's either a man who's desperate and innocent, or it's a man who's just psychopathic, or like he's just crazy, So I think it's the latter. I think he's crazy, and yeah.
There's
So
something
that
up.
was a horrible,
There's something a little
horrible story.
off. There's no question. Especially the way he was yelling at it. It's
What
definitely
was
off.
he yelling?
he's not the first murderer to, decide that they're going to defend themselves. Like
Yeah.
this
Really?
happens a lot.
I mean,
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
this happens a lot. This happens a lot.
All right, let me get to these comments online. So Jeanette Brown says, child does not need to be in the same room. Child should be protected from the abuser. Video enables this. I agree. Protect victims' nervous systems. They didn't deserve the abuse, and they certainly don't deserve to be traumatized further. Jacqueline Robinson says small children are also allowed to testify in camera in judges' chambers, but that is determined by several factors. Yeah, I think there has to be certain exceptions for children. I'm sorry. I just believe there has to be certain exceptions for minors. I understand the law and how the law is written. I think they need to rewrite the law for children. So,
So,
because
but
I
if
mean, you can make the argument that they're not face to
there
face. They're not
to be
facing
there.
their
But
accusers.
again, you're not taking into account what the minor may want. Again,
Oh
I was
no,
one of
certainly, sure. If the minor wants it,
those minors. Okay. And back in the 80s, I was not given the option to be in a different room. If
yeah,
I was going to testify, I was going to have to be in the courtroom.
yeah. Mike Werner says,
And
Neo, rape. How many rape victims have to appear in front of their rapist? Right?
exactly, like this is the law. Unfortunately, this is where we are.
Yep.
But if it happens that the case is going to turn over if this young man does not testify, do you want to risk having his father out in possibly killing somebody else, killing another family? And so I agree. Like, you take all the provisions,
All right.
put him in a different room.
If you want to talk more about it further, get in the line. Get on the comments online. All right. Let's get into our last topic. Last topic. Oh, was that truth, lies, or shenanigans, guys? Truth, lies, or shenanigans? Lies.
Shenanigans again.
Shenanigans again.
Courtroom shenanigans.
Okay.
All right.
So I was
So now